Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today's show, yes, you can see it there, I'm going to be talking about the good old Borg Cube. Now for those of you who actually joined me on the live stream and those who've watched the catch up, eventually when we actually got it going, I was planning on actually recording this during the live stream, but unfortunately because of a technical issue with the phone, and it just froze out and actually ballsed everything up. So I'm having to do a full-blown separate video. So I'm going to try and keep this in line as possible and basically gripe about the Borg Cube. Because to be perfectly frank, right, I'm not impressed with it one little bit. The concept of what it is, what it can do, and what it can do is actually brilliant. But trust Scopely in their infinite wisdom, as per usual, to screw it up. So, what we're going to talk about is the cost here. As you can see, we're in stfc.space, which was originally designed and created by Ripper. Unfortunately, now is owned by Scopely. So we'll go through all the costs for building this thing, how many tiers it is, which you can already see on the description here. Max tier 18. It is a level 28 shipyard vessel. And then obviously we'll talk about crewing. We'll talk about the ship's special ability. And we've got some graphics as well. And we'll show you about all the special currencies and the research and the refineries. And yeah, there's a lot to come with it. So let's crack on, shall we? So introducing, as usual, the Borg Cube. It is a battleship, so it will follow the standard triangle of primarily killing explorers. Now, what this ship is, basically, this is a ship designed to grow with you and go through your game. Whereas you have other ships like the Rialto, the Kamari, the Saladin, the Enterprise, the Vocha, the Sanctus, the Enterprise D, well, to be perfectly frank, those ships have a limited shelf life. They won't go very far in the game, whereas this thing is designed to go with you from Shipyard 28 all the way up to Ops 70. Now, it is gated and locked behind specific points within the game, which we will show you in a graphic just a little bit later on. But yeah, it's a brilliant concept. It's a great idea. I wish the ships that we had in game could come with me. Like, I'd love to be able to fight a G5 Corvus with my Rialto. Maybe adding research into the game for that little aspect to upgrade the Rialto through G2, G3, G4, and then into G5 would have been nice. Probably locked behind primes at the time if they actually did it. But yeah, that would have been nice. But instead they decided to create a whole new ship, which finally, sticking with Star Trek, yes, we have the Borg Cube. Now, a lot of players have been asking for a Borg Cube for quite some time, like over 3 years. So Scopely have decided to put it in the game. But to me, brilliant on one side, but it's a massive letdown on the other. And the letdown primarily is here on its ship's ability. Phase discriminating amplifier. So the Borg cutting beam, this is what it is, it's pretty much a Borg cutting beam, deals a base level at level tier 1, right, not level, tier 1 of 23,000 hull health point damage. Now what this does, this particular cutting beam, it literally rips through shields, it rips through the mitigation. They don't have anything on it. This is straight to hull. It is literally straight to hull. That 23,000 damage is going straight to the hull and doing some damage. That's alright for low level players if you are a level 28 and you're not targeting higher level ships. Unlike the vast majority of players in the game, we've actually got to build this thing up so it's actually effective for us. So now, if we actually look at it, when targeting a ship above your player level, the hull health damage decreases by 10% per level. So basically, me being an Ops 26, when I finally get this leveled up to, or tiered up to where I need it, this will be effective against any other level 46 player. Yeah, you can see the problem. So if I went for a level 47 player, yeah, it does 10% less damage. Now the bonus you're going to see here is PvE levels. It's the red hostiles. And obviously this literally is applied straight to hull. So as you can see, they are literally grouped into 5s. So tier 11, so level 11 is when you see a 50,000. If we take it up to where I'm allowed to take it up to, which is tier 7, so I can go up to level 35, 3.6 million. Yeah, in all honesty, that's not enough to take a player on. Literally, it's not. It'll do some damage, and then I've still got to fight the player in another fight. Okay. Not particularly good. But the one thing is as well, PvP side of it, yeah, it's half that. And I'll call up the graphic and I'll show you the damages it actually does. Okay, so here's the graphic. Now, as you can see, cutting beam base damage, and it's split between the PvE and the PvP. Now, what you'll notice for the first 3 tiers, they're both exactly the same, which is good. That's good. But as soon as you hit tier, first 5 tiers. The first 5 tiers, that's good. So that's going up to level 25, up to 164,000 damage. Yeah, that's where it stops. Because as much as there's a massive jump to tier 6 for the PvE side, the PvP side, however, is not such a massive jump. Now, is 1.8 million really going to be that effective? Well, how about we jump back into game briefly so we can actually show you how effective that is. Okay, so here's my Newton. As you can see, I've literally stripped it of all officers. Completely stripped it. So this is literally just based on my research only. And if we go into details, and if we actually look at the health, we want to be looking specifically at the hull health section. 23.86 million. Okay, so 23.86 million. And we're going to throw the calculator in here. Okay, for this one. We're going to do, let's clear that. 23.86,000. So that's my hull health divided by the PvP damage of the cutting beam, which is 1.8 million. So, so basically, I've got to hit this thing. I've got to hit my Newton 14 times to kill it. 14 times. I might as well just go straight into a full-blown fight with it. It's going to go more than one round. Granted, PvP crew, Bob's your uncle, I finished it off. And a tier 7 Borg Cube will actually do it. So realistically, the cutting beam itself is of little use in this situation. Now you see, I switched the graphics back. So you've got the 1.8 million on the far side there. Ain't gonna cut it. Literally. Now, I'm sorry. Borg lore from Star Trek is the fact that the Borg sent a single cube to Earth. Now, you can argue the toss about strategy and things like that, about why would the Borg send a single cube to fight the Federation? But look how it stood up and destroyed a large number of Federation ships. When the Federation first actually had their full-blown fight with the Borg at War 359, 39 ships were lost. 39 ships. That cutting beam just not cutting it in Star Trek lore. Now, yeah, I'm quivering over that, and I'm yeah. You want to say I'm being pedantic, I'm being picky, fine, crack on. Drop it in the comment section down below. But it doesn't cut it. And pun intended. The Borg in Star Trek could destroy a large fleet. This couldn't even tickle one ship. But we'll leave that there as it may. Because as well, I've got a serious issue when it comes to PvE side, and I'll show you that in game. But first of all, let's go back to stfc.space and let's look at the cost of this thing, raw cost, not based on your research. Okay, so here we are. Now we're going to start looking at the basics. We've got the build cost and time. As you can see, it's going to take you 7 days to do. It's going to cost you 900,000 titanium, 240,000 dilithium. Like I say, that's raw. That's what you've got. No questions asked. Sorry. That's the way it is. And obviously, you're going to require Shipyard 28 to actually build this ship. Now, like I said, it is an 18 tier ship. And you can see the resources involved already, because it will go through the G6. The G6 now start using Sigma resources, Sigma speed ups and all that palaver. So you've got your basic titanium and dilithium, and then you've got your Sigma, titanium and dilithium. And it is very expensive. 37.5 trillion just for the first, let me just confirm. 14 there, 15, so hang on, no, we've still got Sigma. There we go. So for the first 13 tiers, it's going to cost you 37.5 titanium to actually get it all up. But with that, you're looking, as you can see, you've got G5 materials here, so it's going to cost you G5 materials to actually do that. So yeah, would explain why it's so high. For me, going down, let's go down to tier 7. There we go. It's going to cost me 49.3 billion to actually do with the tokens I've got in backstock. That's a piece of cake for me. I can actually do that. The biggest problem I'm going to have is the shape memory alloy. I need 33.1 million to do. Now, we do have a predicted path on actually doing this, and that's basically going through the refinery. But what we'll do is we'll talk about all that when we actually come to the actual loop itself as part of this video. So as you can see, it's going to need some Borg data nodes. You will acquire these by your specific faction ship that you actually have, and you'll get a data node for the specific type of faction ship for the specific faction. So if you're looking at like the Shipyard 28 ships, the Saladin, the Centaurian and the Bortus, you will get a tier 2 data node for all three. If you have all three. If you've only got the Saladin, you'll only get the one. If you've got a Saladin Centaurian, you'll get two. If you've got all three ships, you'll get all three. And it doesn't matter which combination you actually do that. And now the tier 3 node will also be the same when it comes, because to be perfectly frank, right, the 28 uncommons, the 32 rares, it doesn't matter which one, you can do it off any of them. However, when it comes to tier 4, you're going to need a specific faction ship. Yeah. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. So total tier up time as well for me is going to be 146 days. Yeah, absolutely not a problem. It's going to take a good few speed ups to do, but yeah. Like I say, it's just going to be the memory. So what we're going to do is going to shove this range back to 0, back to 1. And here we go. So the basic power of it is going to be 132,000. Attack is 46,000, just under 47,000. 42 3/4 in defense. DPR is 27,600. Criticals is a 10 and 150. So here you go. You got your, let me just put it above the camera. Your health is 42,500. That's based on a shield health of 15,000 and a hull health of 70,000. The cube itself does have 4 individual weapons. You got 2 energy weapons and 2 kinetic weapons. We will look at the firing pattern, But if you actually look at the particular powers, min, damp, max obviously will go along the minimum. So your minimum is going to be like 108, 1800, 3600. Kinetic is 1800 again, so it's not particularly that good. And 3600 as well for that kinetic weapon. Now, there you go. You got your armor, shield, and impulse, cargo, bay, and warp. Now, I am going to tell you that your cargo is shockingly bad. Shockingly bad. And you'll notice in game that for my cube, I'm using a max cargo crew. So just be aware of that one. So here's your firing pattern then. As you can see, literally every single weapon fires 3 shots each. And everything straight out on the odd numbered rounds, starting from gate 1, 3 across the board. So 12 shots for the first one. Then you're going down to 6. Then you're going back up to 12. Then you go back down to 6. Then you go back up to 12. Yeah, you get the picture. So if you also... No, hang on. Yeah, that's right. 12, 6, 12, 6, 12, 6. So that's your firing pattern. It's not particularly too bad, in all honesty, the firing pattern. But like I say, that cutting beam is going to be your downfall. You might as well just go for a straight firefight with somebody. Yeah. Cube on cube. Would love to see how that's going to work. I think that's going to basically come down to your stats and your crew. So crewing is you've got 7 slots, but again, that's up to level 85. Yeah, so primarily for me, I'd be getting the first 4 slots. That should ideally get me most of the stats. Now, looking at the stats, you're going to need some pretty high level stats on this thing. Yeah, look at this one. 32,000 for the amount, which is a bonus of 450%. Now, 450% is a maxed out Newton stats. Yeah, it's a maxed out G4 rare stats. So you can see how powerful this thing potentially can get as you go on. Maximum stats there, 960,000. That is pure maxed out epic officers below deck, all 7 seats. All 7 seats. 4,500%. That is a massive boost. So as much as I griped earlier in the video about the cutting beam, I can't deny the sheer power of this thing as you get it leveled up. It's going to be very powerful. So as much as the cutting beam is a letdown, the ship itself is actually going to be pretty fantastic when it gets higher. Massively. So now there's no refits available at the minute, but here's the your tables. So if we actually look at the warp tables, as you can see, it starts off at warp range of 30. Again, this is going to be affected by your research adding on top of it. As you saw in the live stream, mine kicked out at 50. So just bear that in mind. So when I get mine up to tier 7, it's going to have a warp range of 100. Yeah, okay, it's not even touching G5 space. Literally not even touching G5 space. But again, my warp range research will become effective on that one. Can I see a massive use for my discovery with this one? Hell yes, because 100, in all honesty, is not going to get me to the systems that I can just basically grind in. Bearing in mind that I can grind in G5 space with my Newton. But that's 225 at the minute. So yeah, 120 based on my research will get me up to at least that level 46 system, but that's where Scopely intended on you actually using this and not actually going any further. So now at the minute, my cube can't even take them on. I can't even take a level 40 on. Literally, I can't take a level 40 hostile on, even with a hostile grinding crew. Bye, see you later. So, but yeah. But when you actually do get it going, it's going to top out at 1650. Again, warp research on top of that one is going to make that stupidly high, but that's access to G6 areas. So, let's have a look at some more graphics on some more information for the Borg Cube. Okay, so I've moved myself over to the other side of the screen so you can actually see all this information here. So what you're going to see for the first 3 tiers is Ops 28, Ops 33, Ops 36. They're going to be your gateways. That's going to stop you getting this Borg Cube particularly too far. But what you're going to notice as well from tier 4, tier 4 is when your epics kicked in. Now, obviously, I did show these graphics off in the live stream, but let's actually break it down a little bit further and go into it. So, as I mentioned in the live stream, as you can see with the G3 epics, we actually have 2 levels for it. 2 different requirements, which is the tier of those ships. Now, as you can see, you've got the Augur, you've got the Enterprise, you've got the D4. Originally, for the requirements on the lower ops, you're going to need a battleship, you're going to need an explorer, you're going to need an interceptor. No tier required for that one. But they've actually split it down as well into each column of what classification the ships are. But as you can see, the epics, you're going to see a bit of an increase, as well as you're going to see that's in line with this particular side as well. But we've already looked at that particular bit. So for me, as you can see, I need a tier 6 G4 rare to get to a tier 7 Borg Cube. Yeah. Now, this is where a little bit of strategy for free-to-play players is coming in. If you're a spender, you're going to go out, get those ships, so you can potentially build 3 cubes. Yes, you can build up to 3 cubes. Not a problem. But as a free-to-play player, you might want to add a little bit more strategy into what you're doing here. So, are you going to potentially go for the G4 epics? Me, I wasn't planning on it. But looking at where I've got to go with those epics, yeah, tier 4, tier 8, okay, that's going to be pretty expensive. Now, if I did, this thing's a battleship, the Cube, so I definitely wouldn't be looking at the Tribune on this one. I'd be looking at either the Hector or the Enterprise A. So again, working between now and level 50, for me, Ops 46 to Ops 50, I want to be looking at Explorer parts or Interceptor parts, but I'm also going to need the Battleship parts as well for upgrading the Borg Cube. So, yeah. Now, eventually I could get the Tribune somewhere down the line when I'm in G5, if I want to continue collecting ships. But again, I've still got to get it up to a higher tier. Now, faction credit-wise, those epics are expensive. It's cheaper to me to go for the G5 uncommon. And to be honest, right? Resource material-wise, yes, you're going from G4 to G5 in this instance. But material-wise, again, it's still going to be cheaper for me. As a free-to-play player, okay, I spend on the Battle Pass. So not pure. I'm not pure. I'm not even a pure person. But it's going to be better for me to skip this and get that G5 uncommon. Now, can we do this? Can we skip this particular point and go straight for the G5? I'm not 100% sure, but I would hazard a guess of yes, you could do this. Because you'd end up with just getting the excess in between. But who knows? We'll show you the claiming of the warp components in just a moment, because the data node, sorry, for the warp drive in just a moment. So obviously I would be looking at the Corvus or the Northcote. Now, originally I was thinking, when I started thinking more into my G5 area, what do I want to do? I was actually looking at particularly maybe getting the Vorcha as my uncommon, the Sanctus as my rare, and then the Enterprise D and the D Deredex for me epics, because they're the ships I want. They're the ones that's actually in the show. There's no Corvus, there's no Northcote, there's no Crozier, no Kvexompeg. The Rataran it's in the show. So, but I won't be getting all 4 G5 epics, all 3 of them. I won't be doing that. Too expensive. But I definitely would like the Enterprise D, and I'd like the Deredex, because I do actually like both classes. The Bird of Prey, well, I can just rely on my Burrell from from Shipyard 32, the G3 rare. I can just keep all of that. I've got a bird of prey then, haven't I? It's just not as powerful as the Rataran. But anyway, so that's sort of like where you need to be thinking in terms of your Borg Cube. Now, like I say, yes, you can run 3 Borg Cubes. It's going to be expensive to upgrade, but as long as you can get at least get every single ship on this list up to the required tier, you can do it. You can do it. So this idea, every single ship up to these tiers, is a spender's way round this one. Free to play, sorry, I would strongly suggest one ship and think about your path. Seriously, think about your path as you're going through this. So that's the levels of this particular one. Now, you are going to use the cutting beam for the new currency. Yes. Because as you can see, you've got technological distinctiveness drops on the far side. Now, I will just say, sourcing for this thing, because we have not talked about sourcing yet. Sourcing this month was through the Elite Battle Pass, where you got 75 blueprints, and there were 25 blueprints in the free line as well. Also, if you did the mission, the cube, you would end up with 5 blueprints. That's free to play. So in total, free to play could actually earn 30 blueprints. But of course, you would need to spend a minimum of $20 or £20 or whatever your equivalent currency is to actually get the elite line and get the other 75. But do not worry if you are a free to play player, you did not want that elite battle line. You will be able to source this in December through the event store. How that's going to roll out through that, I do not know. But we'll see it in December. But we have been told, well, in fact, everybody's been told, the NDA content creators like Revan, DJ, No One Shall, Lube, have all been told, yes, this will be free to play in December. Now, what about beyond December? I did ask this one in the RevJuice live stream, and there was talk, nothing guaranteed, nothing concrete, of sourcing via the Return of the Mega Cube event. Now, logically, it makes sense. Yeah, why not? Yeah, perfect logic, right? I know, Scopely actually using proper logic. Who would have guessed it? It does happen. Not very often, but it does happen. So if it happens, that's going to be your sourcing throughout. Now, obviously, when I do start this second account and I start running that on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, yeah, when we eventually get up to level 28, we'll eventually see that sourcing as it is. So, but who knows? I mean, even I'm going to be able to source at least the other 2 cubes. So, but again, we'll actually see what the sourcing is when it comes to it. So, technological distinctiveness. Now, these, like I said briefly, are going to be the currency dropped or the loot dropped when you actually destroy a hostile with your cutting beam. Now, we will show you this process in game. Do not worry. I'm going to show you that. Like I said, I am going to go through the loop on that one. So this is probably going to be a long video. But then again, you saw that from the timer at the beginning of the video. So let's have a quick look at these drops then. So as you can see here, this is split between the level and the TD drop. So I will be referring them to the technological distinctiveness as TDs. It's a lot easier than me trying to spout out freaking 2 long words. As much as I can do it, if I slow down, it's not a problem. So as you can see, you're gonna get some TD drops from any hostile you encounter and you kill. Now, the problem is you need to charge up your cutting beam. Yeah, you need to charge up. We'll show you that in the game. So we'll leave that for 1 second. So when you actually do use your cutting beam, your cutting beam is going to cut through these ships like there's no tomorrow. Now, the highest the highest shot I can do with the 23,000 PvE damage is going to be a level 28. That's the highest I can do. Now, watch out for this one, because it's going to depend on the class of ship, whether it's an interceptor, explorer, or a battleship. So probably like the 27s would actually be best. You're definitely going to one-shot it. Definitely any higher than 28, you're going to need more than one shot. I was doing some earlier before I recorded, smacking some level 28s. Yeah, 2 shots. Okay, so they were faction ships. So we'll just bear that in mind. So you're going to get these TD drops, and what you're going to do is you're going to build them up, and then you're going to take them to your refinery. Now, I will just say my refinery is currently on a cooldown at the time of recording. Oh, hello. Call that one up. At the time of recording, I've got about another hour to actually go. But we've got this graphic here of the TD drops. There we go. So let's have a quick look at the, oh, for God's sake, this first, and we'll move myself over out the way. So as you can see here, it's incomplete at the minute, but now I haven't done this yet, so we better do this. Big shout out to Jules Verne, Blue Mandarin, and all the other eggheads who have actually worked together to actually start putting all this information together for us. It certainly makes like my job a lot easier of explaining it when we've got graphics like this to actually do it. Shame that Scopely haven't got the brains to actually figure that one out themselves. But then again, why should Scopely do something when they can actually get content creators and other eggheads to actually do the work for them? Just saying. But anyway, enough of slating. But as you can see, you're going to have your various tiers of your Borg Cube. That's going to give you your cost of TDs for each chest. So as you can see, at tier 1, one chest is going to cost you 50 TDs to actually open. 2 chests is going to be 150. 3 chests is 500. Now, yes, it's not linear. It is very easy, however, very easy to actually get up to 500 TDs. It is very easy. It's extremely easy to do the one chest, but on a 22-hour cooldown, do you really want to be worried about that? No, you don't. Go for the 3 chests every single time. That will be my recommendation, but that's what we're going to look at on this side here in just a moment. So as you can see, tier 2, technically with the hostiles that I'm blowing up with my cutting beam, tier 2 is not a problem for me with a single chest, but again, I've still got to build them up as I go along. Now, each chest will drop, each single chest will drop 190,000 memory alloys is what you need for upgrading your Borg Cube, and 570 advanced cybernetics, which is what you're going to need for the research. Yes, there's research with this as well. So, basically then, it's a ship that grows with you, but it's going out after targets that are currently in the game, so no new hostiles to kill. But you need to kill those older existing hostiles to get a new currency to take into a refinery to get some materials, specialist materials, to upgrade the damn thing and do some research. But luckily, the research is actually mostly effective against your entire fleet. Yes, your entire fleet. Not the Borg Cube. There is one piece of research aimed at the Borg Cube. And, well, yeah, actually, it's not particularly too bad if you actually did it. But again, you've got to eventually unlock it to get there. So you've got to go through this process first to actually get there. So now, as you can see here, giving you the ideal hostiles of where you want to be attacking to actually, you know, do this effectively. So I'm going to move myself back over because we don't need the full screen for the next section. We don't want that. We want this. So yeah, you can see my albums and everything. But anyway, mostly screenshots that I pulled. Cutting beam. Yeah. Cutting beam used per chest. I've never quite figured out that title since I looked at it. But anyway, so what we've got here is we've got the highest possible hostile for the particular one that you wanted. So you're looking at for like level 28, level the level 31s. In fact, all the way through to the level 39s, you're looking particularly to do the 3 chest pull, which is above me. And bearing in mind that all these lines are level. All these lines are level. So you'll be looking around about 10 chests to actually do the up to the level 39. But just there. 10 hits, sorry, to actually... Is it 10 hits? Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. I'll tell you what, we actually have a better graphic. Where is it? It's this one here, isn't it? This is the one, the predicted upgrade. Oh, hello. The predicted upgrade. So, yeah. Now, obviously, you're going to be looking at where you want to go. And this is going to be the number of days it's going to take to tier up your ship. So, based on a single chest, one chest, 190,000 alloy in that one chest, it's going to take you around about 10 days to actually do. I'm not quite sure about the other part of that graphic I was showing you. That's why I've moved to this, because this one makes sense. So now, if you want to make it faster, you're going to need 2 chests or 3 chests. 3 chests is only 3.3 days, so that's basically about 4 days to actually do it. So for me, I'm only on day 2. So I've got 2 more days before I can go up. So today's Wednesday. So I'm looking at Friday before I can send it up. But then again, if I don't bother pulling the chest after recording, which I probably won't, I'll probably mix it in with my normal morning pulls. So which basically means Saturday morning, I'll be able to send this up to tier 2. Now, once I've done tier 2, the chest will change. I'll now be pulling 220,000 alloys. So, doing it on a single chest to go up to tier 3, I'll be looking at 11.5 days. Again, looking at the 3 chest path, I'm looking at 4 days again. Okay, so you can see for doing on a running tally based on the 3 chests, in total to go to tier 3, I'm actually looking at 7 days. Yeah. So, and then what we're going to do to look at go to tier 4, you're looking at a total from today, or actually from yesterday when I built the damn thing, I'm looking at 12 days. 17 for tier 5, 25 for tier 6, or actually no, add an extra day for those two. If it's got a decimal place, send it up a day. Best way to remember it. So basically, that's what you're looking at. Now, if you are at level 60 and you decide that you want a free-to-play grind this one, yeah, 474 days. About a year and a half. Nearly a year and a half. No, hang on. A year and 100 days. So, a year and 3 months. That's it. A year and 3 months to actually fully max this thing out if you are a level 70 player. Free to play, doing this. Just doing it as a free to play. It's like, yeah, you know what? I've got plenty of other stuff to do. Really can't be bothered to spend money on this thing. I'm just going to free to play, grind it up. I'll have to do it every day, but that's fine. So, well, there you go. And there's the shout out as well. So you got Blue Mandarin, Jules Verne, the Talking Trek team, so that's DJ and everyone, and the rest of the community. So yeah, a lot of people have put in information to actually help us out with this one. And trust me, most of this information is from spenders who have actually spent money. So now, upgrade path, as you can see here, again, pretty much going back on the predicted path, but it's actually giving you more information here. So in total for tier 2, if we actually zoom in a little bit, bring that in. So for tier 2, you're looking at about 1.88 million alloys. Tier 3, you're looking at 2.5 million. Tier 4, 3.7 million. But then again, you get the gist. Now, I will be adding all this to my Discord as soon as I can. I'm very busy with the family at the minute. I've got a lot of things going on. So I will get round to adding this into a separate channel in my Discord as soon as I can. So, right. Now we've looked at all the graphics and everything. How about we actually put some of this into practice and show you pretty much what the loop is. So let's jump back to the game and have a look. Okay, so here we are back in game. And as you can see, I've got my Borg Cube out and I've got my Kelvin because somebody actually popped me OPC earlier today. So I'm watching out for them. I was OPC and I was floating, so I can't grumble too much. But yeah, bit of a piss take. Right, now there's a couple of things that we need to look at now. We was talking about what ships you need to actually tier it up, and obviously for upgrading the ship itself, you're going to need the data nodes. But if you go into your give section, you're going to get a whole whack of data nodes. Now, tiers 2 and 3, you're basically going to get all 3 data nodes, which is basically means you can build 3 cubes and upgrade them to tier 3. Not a problem, right? Now, you're going to see that tier 4, I've also got all 3, but tier 4 is where you start seeing the individual faction ships. So we've got the Augur, we've got the Enterprise, we've got the D4. So yeah, I've got all 3 of them all maxed out. So guess what? If we actually see, oh look, I've got 3 tier 5 ones as well. So that means I've got 3 Borg, I can actually build 3 Borg cubes and I can take them up to tier 5. Not a problem. But the problem is it stops there for me, because I won't be able to go any further, because if we actually look at the tier 6, I've only got 2 G4 uncommons, the Valdor and the Kelvin. If I had the, I forgot its bloody name now, the Katinga, then I'd have an extra one. Now, on the live stream, you saw me claim the tier 7 one. I've only got the Newton. So that's the only G4 rare I've got. So basically, I'd only be able to, so once I've got to the tier 5, well, one ship's going to get left behind because 2 more are going to get to tier 6. But then when I get to tier 6, another one's going to get left behind because, well, the current one can go to tier 7. So, like I said, you are going to need all those ships. Just be careful. So, I'll be collecting all them later on. They'll get them cleared out. I just needed to keep them in to actually show off. Show them all off. So the Borg Cube is here. Now, another graphic that will appear in Discord as well is recommended systems to go grinding. This is one of them. Now, what you're going to find from your Borg Cube is you're going to get a charge rate. So basically, when you start hitting hostiles, oh, it goes, a cutting beam coming in. Oh, it's one of my alliance doing it as well. So we won't attack that supply ship. But what you'll find is you'll get a specific charge rate which appears next to the name Borg Cube. As you can see, if it's in this 36, I've got a 70.7. So, and then if I go hit another 36, that's going to max it out for me. So, yeah, here we go. This is the little bit of the drag of the game, the little bit of a pain in the backside. Now, if I hit the 38, I will go 100%, not a problem. So we'll just get this done and we're going to show you the 100% and we're going to show you what to do as well. And also a little thing that some players have actually run into which they didn't realise existed because it's not been said. So here we go. We've got 100%. Now, we all know that a tier 1 Borg Cube, yes, it is tier 1. And if you want further proof of that, let's go into management. Up there, tier 1, level 5 of 5. That's as high as it goes. And so, which basically means my damage is only 23,000. Now, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need to select this ship. I'm going to need to scan it. And then I'm going to look at those stats at the bottom there. As you can see, it's 50,000. Well, let me think. 50,000 with a 23,000 damage. How many hits do you think I'm going to have? 3. It's going to take me 3 hits to target this vessel. Now, if I click attack, then the cube's going to go attack it and actually beat it up and not get anything. Now, there was a player here. So if we scan this player and we look at him, again, 23,000. But look at this guy's whole health. 2 million. 2 million. Yeah. I'm not going to be shooting that because that's going to be one... yeah, I'd hate to think how long it's going to take me to get there. By then, my cargo bay is going to be full. So, of killing hostiles, just charging up my cube. So, there's no point me actually using this in PvP. But yeah, if I target the supply ship, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that. You're going to get this notification saying it's going to go straight to hell. Straight to hell. Yeah, we'll say hell. So, straight to hull. And there you go. So, I've done the damage. It's still there. Right, now then. Now, we've got while these players are grinding, we've got to try and find a 38. Otherwise, we're just going to be sat here grinding for God knows how long. So, but it looks like we're not going to find one, so we're going to go hit a couple more 36s. Hopefully a 38 will appear while we're doing this. Now, what I'm going to say is recommend as well is keep an eye on the ship you are targeting. Now, most civilized players would hopefully notice a ship damaged and might just leave it alone. Or if they actually see you shooting, they'll leave it alone. But then again, you're going to have some players in the game who are not going to be so nice, so charming. Here we go, it's 38. So now we can show the straight 100%. So I'm going to fly up there. Keep an eye on my target. Going to select it ready, because what you need to understand is here is every time you hit the target, it's going to have an ablative shield develop. So that's gone. It lasts for 30 seconds. So what you'll end up with, and we'll show you this with another one, and I've got to be very quick about doing this. There's a 38 there. So if I go here, I'm going to show you this against another target. And I'm hoping I can catch that 38 before somebody else does. So, yeah, so I'm going to keep this going. No editing in this. There's plenty of editing in this video. Plenty of editing. So, there we go. So, we've got that. I'm going to go hit this 36. Because obviously I want to keep that 38 for quickness. So, what I'm going to do, and you can actually do this little method as well. So, watch this little method that I'm using. So, now I've got to be quick. So, I'm going to attack that, but I'm going to select that, click that, click that. So, I'm going to shoot that as I attack the 38. I've destroyed the 38. I've damaged this. Got me 100% back. Go to shoot it. Oh, I can't. The ablative shield is online. So, it's temporarily immune from my cutting beam. So, watch out for that one. You will need to give it the 30-second count. So, can we get in? No, still immune. Click on it again and click on that. Oh, there we go. It's over. It's 30 seconds. That's it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go attack that one. And if I could just click it, you click on there. See, it's down to 22 seconds. But that's with me messing around trying to select it. I've lost 8 seconds. So, you give it the count in your head. And then, obviously, when it's done, boom, they're still temporarily immune. Oh, come on then. And then I'm going to shoot. Boom. Come on, there we go. Now, once you've used the cutting beam, you're going to get the TD. So if we actually look at my cargo bay, you're going to see I've got these technological distinctiveness, which is what I'm going to use in the Borg refinery. Now, we've already showed you the graphic of what you're going to get out of this refinery. You're going to get the alloys for your ship. You're going to get some upgrade materials as well for your research. So, that's good. Now, watch out. Because in here, the worst cargo you're going to be getting out of this is the plundered cargo. It's going to be the worst one. Because it's going to fill your cargo bay fast, whereas the others won't so much. So you could go up, you could shoot, you could probably shoot the 36s if you wanted to. But the one thing with the 36s, that's 141,000. Now at 23,000 a shot, yeah, so it's 23, 46, 69, to 92, so 95, 125,000. So 125,000. So basically 6 shots. Yeah, go for that 31 all day long. But out of each one of them, and if we actually call up a battle log, supply ship. Now, obviously for the partialists as well, you'll see different things. That's the loot that I got. Now, forget the plundered cargo. It's the distinctive, it's the TDs. You get 68 from the 31, as you saw in that graphic. but it's taken me 3 hits to do this. So watch out for that one. Like I said, there are players who will potentially come in and steal it. As you can see here, partial basically means I've smacked it, but I've not done enough damage. Now let's have a quick look at the battle log. There you go. 23,000 straight to hull. That's it. So now, does isolated damage also come into effect? No, it doesn't. Will it come into effect one day? Potentially, maybe. I flipping hope so, because to be perfectly honest, that 23,000 is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, but that's that. So let's have a quick look at the refinery. Like I say, if you go into the refinery, you go into the support tab. As you can see, I've got an hour and 5 minutes left. You go in there. It's based on your tier level. You get your alloys. You get your cybernetic parts. And off you go. Now, you can see by the number of distinctive the TDs I've got up at the top here, I've got enough for 2 pulls. So that's 2 days worth. So technically, I don't need to do any more today. Yeah, today. I can just wait. So, grinding side could be similar to the amalgam, where you only need to go out every so often to do this. Yeah, could be like the amalgam. Go out every so often. It's like, if I click on the amalgam, you got a 3-day cooldown for this. Now, I haven't got enough to do a pull, but go out, using the Exocom, I can fill up my cargo bay on the amalgam, come back, do a lot of runs in 1 hour, and then I've got enough to keep me going for a month. So you could potentially spend a day running out with the Borg Cube, getting these TDs, and then have enough to do quite a few chests and do your upgrade. So it's like I could spend some time tomorrow, and I'll probably do it while running Summer Matters with my Alliance. Something to do. But watch out for those OPC hunters, because they will come after you. So what I'm going to do is protect it by sending it home, because I don't want to lose that loot. So what we'll do now is we'll quickly look at the research that there is. We did quickly look it over in the live stream, but as for the video, we'd actually have to show it here in the video so you know what it is. So you're going to go to your X-Borg tree, scroll across, and you're going to start with the Borg Cube warp range. However, you will need a tier 4 Borg Cube. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, not going to work now. But like I say, that warp range is pathetically small. So adding this warp range in will give you a bonus. But it does top out level 15 with a 350 increase. Wow. So I can't see an awful lot. But like I say, tier 4 here, 5. So when I get to tier 7, that's going to be 105, 110, 115. Depending on how high I can take this at tier 7. Which I don't know at current. Check out stfc.space if you want further information. So we've got armor defenses, which is increasing your mitigation stats for all ships. This will apply to the Borg Cube as well, because it is one of your ships. So it's not specifically aimed at the Borg. So there you go. But watch out, the cybernetic, advanced cybernetics. It is expensive. These researches will be a little bit on the expensive side. You've got officer stats increasing all the officer stats, attack, defense, and health. So basically increasing those, making your officers that bit stronger. Power creep, anyone? Yes. But there you go. Next up is a shield boost. Again, this is going to affect all your ships. Starts off at 40% and it will top out at level 20 a whopping 1,000%. 1,000%. That's incredible. That's strong. So, and then hull health will be exactly the same, 20 levels. But as you can see, you need officer stats. So, but watch out. Not going to be cheap. Borg Cube weaponry. Now, what this particular one is aimed at the cutting beam. Increases base damage for the Borg Cube. This is going to be your standard weaponry. The standard weaponry. Not the cutting beam. Your standard weaponry. So just bear that in mind. As you can see, it starts off with 10% and it will top out at 500% as a top level. Hence the reason why this Borg Cube is going to be extremely powerful. Next up, you're going to have some gear optimizing, which is increasing your kinetic damage for all ships. Woo, nice. At the bottom here, you're going to have the energy weapons version. And here you're going to have the charge optimization, which is for your cutting beam. Basically means instead of like hitting that 36, I'm going to get 70%. I'm going to have a 10% increase on it. So it's not going to be 70.7. It's going to be 77.7. So, and no, I'm not Naomi Wildman. 7. But yeah. So increasing the efficiency and just basically making it so you get into that full charge rate a lot faster. It will top out at a whopping 50%. Woo! So instead of 70, I'd have 105%. Boom, that's me done, maxed out. For hitting that 36 at least. Then you've got Borg Behemoth, which is against players, increasing critical chance for all your ships. So, yeah, nice little thing to go for. Leads all three of the befores. And then you've got this one, which is your critical chance, decreasing your opponent's, decreasing players' critical chance against you. However, will not apply in station combat. Now, I will just say as well, furthermore, I did not mention this, but with the cutting beam, you will not be able to use this in armadas against stations or star bases. So just bear that in mind. It's limited PvP, but then again, with the amount of hull health it will rip off in a PvP fight, yeah, fine. Okay, so I get to reduce their hull by 1.8 million. But when it's standing at 30 million, what exactly is 2 million? It's nothing. It's about 1 or 2 rounds. That's it. I can probably shave 1 million off with just 1 round in the amount of firepower that I lay down. So, but that's it. That's the Borg. That's the research. That's the refinery. Crewing. As I've already said, let's quickly repair this thing. I'm using here maximum cargo, which is increasing my cargo size from pathetically weak to actually something decent, where it's actually usable. Protected cargo will be a good one as well if you want to protect the amount of TDs that you've gathered. Other crew formations, whatever loadout that you first. Battleship Strike Team for PvP. The Freeman crew. PvE side, you got Pipe Morrow Chen, you got the Strange New Worlds team, you've got the Voyager team. So literally whatever crew formations that you feel like, you can chuck on it. So, and as you can see by the minute, the stats are not particularly high. So it'll take you some working to get the stats. Like I say, you'd probably need all 7 slots to actually do it. But anyway, that's the Borg Cube. I've rabbled it on for long enough. My voice is pretty much going. Need a quick drink with this one. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Now, I'm going to quickly circle back to my opinion. Like I say, this has got the potential and will be a very, very powerful ship. A very powerful ship. However, is it going to be a replacement for your main faction ship in PvP? Is it going to be a replacement? Eventually, yes. However, the cutting beam, no. The cutting beam, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is a specialist weapon for specialist currency, for a refinery, to get the parts you need to upgrade it. That's the specialist side of the Borg Cube. That's my opinion. But the cube itself, yeah, I really can see it actually doing some damage. I mean, there's a 442,000. That's with the cargo, Chris. There's no weapon boosting on that one. But yet, at current, because it is a tier 1, this is a tier 7 Newton, 4.3 million damage. Yeah, my cube doesn't stand a chance against this thing. literally does not stand a chance against this thing. But anyway, that's the Cube. I don't know what else there is to say. Scopely have created a fantastic piece of content. Can't grumble. Well, I can. Because the grind around it, like I said, you might enjoy the grind. Me, I personally don't. Now, there is another way as well of doing this, and so, was mentioned in the live stream. You can take it to, let me just get out of the system. Come on, thank you. You can take it to augment space and park it here in Yada. Do the auto grind until it's fully charged. Then take it to this system, Dorena, and smack an Explorer, an Explorer 28 or level 27. Get your TDs that way. Then return back to Yada, carry on the auto grinding again, and then go back. Now, to me, if you can get in, and someone did actually say this in the live stream, and I will put this in here, if you can get into a rhythm, not a problem, it'll be brilliant, excellent way. However, if you are constantly interrupted in your real life, like I am with my kids, my partner, food needs cooking, washing needs doing, you know, the general crap that needs doing. I mean, it's like even picking the kids up from school. We can't leave them at school. We have to pick them up. Yes. Sadly, as a parent, we have to do that. It's going to be a ball ache. It will be a ball ache. I can't sit down long enough to get into that kind of a rhythm. So for me, going to these particular systems, like Hakar, I'm not even going to try pronouncing that again, is actually going to be more beneficial for me. It's a pain in the ass. No question. It's a pain in the ass. But going around smacking out 38 and then hitting the supply ship, or hitting 2 36s and hitting the supply ship, total of 3 times. So that's 6 36s or 3 38s. So, but out of it, I'm going to end up with some extra plunder cargo. And guess what? I don't need to use my amalgam as often. Yay. So there is an upside to this, to doing it this way. Or you can run off to one of the other systems in faction space, independent space, and do it that way should you wish. What I would highly recommend is definitely figure it out. There is a list that will be in my Discord of systems ideally to go for your specific tier. As you get through the high, so I mean you've got all these systems here. I mean this top system here, that's a warp range 150. Eventually my Borg Cube will be able to reach that system. Not a problem. But you can tell by the little information just below the Klingon symbol, battleships, surveys. So there's definitely going to be supply ships in there. And there'll be level 31s. And guess what? By the time I actually be able to reach that system with the Borg Cube, boom. They're one-shotted. Easy. Not 3 shots. 1 shot. So, but there you have it. Literally nothing else I can say. I think I've covered everything. But if I haven't, I'm sure you know where to drop it in the comment section down below. But if you did like the video and you found it informative, and hopefully I've explained everything in a simple term, please let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Channel memberships are also available by clicking the join button. If you'd like to donate to the channel via PayPal or Cashapp, the links are in the description down below. Until then, that's it. That's me done. I'm Admiral Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show, showing off the Borg Cube. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.